Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. About 2 years ago, Aisha Jumwa was charged of corruption for allegedly having embezzled 20 million Kenya shillings CDF money for Malindi constituency. It was alleged that Aisha Jumwa built Malindi Education Office in her constituency at a tune of 20 million Kenya shillings. But the interesting bit about it is that those who bidded for that project were Aisha Jumwa's close friends and family members. Among them, her son and daughter. And upon being paid the 20 million Kenya shillings, they wired back the money to Aisha Jumwa's personal accounts. So Aisha Jumwa was charged of corruption in that she deliberately flawed the procurement processes and procedures to make sure the tender was awarded to her close family, to her family members and close friends, after which in turn they wired back the money to her personal accounts. This morning, Director of Public Prosecution dropped that case against Aisha Jumwa. And that's a story that has been captured by almost all mainstream media houses. Nation. Director of Public, the director, where's the story? Yes. The Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, on Wednesday withdrew the corruption case against former Malindi MP, Aisha Jumwa. So the case has been withdrawn, and that's not the only case withdrawn today. DPP withdraws shillings 400 million graft case against former Kenya Power MD Ben Chumo and 10 others. DPP applies to withdraw shillings 80 million graft case against former Samburu Governor Moses Lenel Kulal. Magistrate Thomas Nzioki, however, asked him to justify withdrawal bid. So it appears Nurdin Haji, Director of Public Prosecution, was very busy today withdrawing corruption cases against some leaders. And so far we have seen 588 million Kenya shillings corruption case against Ferdinand Waititu being withdrawn. In the case, it was alleged Waititu embezzled that amount that was meant for Kiambu County. It has so far been dropped. And then again, a rape case against Mythical Inturi has also been dropped. At the same time, we have seen Sirisia, Member of Parliament, being thrown to jail, being given a 67 years jail term. And at the same time, we have seen Amos Kimunya's case being revived. A case that had been actually concluded, a case where Amos Kimunya had been acquitted. We have seen the case being revived, and Amos Kimunya is now facing a fresh trial. The case has been revived. So it's clear, cases facing those deemed or perceived to be close to William Ruto are being dropped, and those cases seemed, or rather deemed, to be facing those in Azimio are being revived. In this video, I want us to dig deep into that story, and I'll just explain why I personally believe that under the prevailing political situation in Kenya, nobody should be charged of corruption. All those accused of corruption should all be set free. Waluke should be set free. Wahungu should be set free. Amos Kimunya should be set free. No Kenyan should be charged of corruption. Before we dig deep into that story, If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you. God bless you. Yes. If you look at the prevailing political situation in Kenya, I strongly believe William Ruto's government is not ready, not willing, and not capable of fighting corruption. Kenyan leaders should not be disturbed in the courts being charged of corruption. This government is not ready, not willing, and not capable of fighting corruption. That's one thing I'm seeing here. And I'm saying that because if you look at the trends, the rate at which these cases are being dropped, it's clear these cases are being dropped because those who are charged are deemed to be those who supported or those who are supporting William Ruto and his government. That's the reason why these cases are being dropped. And if you look at those who are seen, or rather those leaders who are not supporting William Ruto, their cases are being revived, and some are even being thrown to jail. A good case in point is Amos Kimunya. Amos Kimunya was facing a 60 million land case where it's believed, or rather alleged, that Amos Kimunya transferred a public land to a private entity, to a private company. The case was concluded and Amos Kimunya was acquitted. About 1 week ago, the case was revived. And so Amos Kimunya is now facing trial. As that was happening, Waititu's corruption case was being dropped. So it's clear these cases are just being targeted towards those deemed not to be supporting William Ruto. And this is a classic example, a very good example of state capture. Director of Public Prosecution, Nurdin Haji, is not independent. Haji is most likely being directed on the cases to drop and the ones not to drop. And that's creating a perception that these cases are being used as a weapon to maybe punish some leaders who are not supporting William Ruto's government. And that is exactly what is happening. I personally believe that under the prevailing political situation, no Kenyan should be arrested or should be charged in a court of law of corruption. The government is not willing and not ready to fight corruption. Let these leaders steal. Let them steal to a point Kenyans themselves will get tired of this theft. Let all these leaders steal. Nobody should be charged or should be arrested. Let these leaders steal to a point Kenyans will get tired of this corruption, of this theft. Should that time reach, then Kenyans, in their wisdom now, should elect a government that will now start actually now checking on these people who stole money from, who looted public coffers. But as of now, I believe no leader should be charged of corruption. No leader should be charged of corruption. And even before I conclude, looking at the Supreme Court and looking at the Judiciary, it's now very clear that the apex court, the Supreme Court, Martha Koome and her bench did a lot of injustice to this country. And their continued stay in that office, that bench is doing this country a lot of injustice. Actually, they set the bench by dropping the cases, or rather by allowing William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua assume office. They actually set the precedent for the lower courts. And from where I sit, ladies and gentlemen, the lower courts will just most likely go that route. Martha Koome and your bench, the best thing you can do is to resign. I still maintain, and I repeat that. Martha Koome and your bench, the best thing you can do is to resign. You are doing this country more injustice than actually any good. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. If you want to have a chat discussion or to share information with me, or even to support this channel, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number, or feel free to send a donation or support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.